The clock is ticking to save the world from catastrophic climate change. But in a key announcement, Britain says it will speed up its reduction of dangerous greenhouse gases in the next decade and hopes other countries will follow suit. Under the Paris Agreement, almost all countries say they'll put forward new targets for cutting emissions called nationally determined contributions. The UK has currently reduced its emissions by 45% since 1990. In a previous pledge, it said it would cut them by 53% by 2030. Now the UK has declared its new NDC will cut 68% of emissions within a decade. The legally binding target is to reduce emissions overall by 100% by 2050 to reach net zero.
Britain is out ahead of most of the other big nations. It's committed more than the EU is likely to do. It's more than the US is likely to be able to do. It's certainly more than the likes of Australia have done.
But Britain's promises can't come quick enough for countries like Bangladesh, this year once again battered by cyclones and floods. Speaking from the capital Dhaka, scientist Salim Ul Haq told me Britain and others need to do more.
We are at the end of receiving those climate impacts, so they may like to pat themselves on the back, and we have to acknowledge they've done a bit. It's not that they aren't doing anything, but they're simply not doing enough. And the enough is what matters. It is whether they can affect the impacts on the climate on the most vulnerable countries and communities, and they're not going to be able to do that.
The way we live our lives is changing so we can reduce the amount of greenhouse gases we produce. It's hoped the UK's promises will trigger a new round of global commitments to turn the tide on climate change before it's too late. Lisa Holland, Sky News.